We are live. Excited to be here with you guys. I'm just going to pull up the comments here for the live on my phone. That way I can see them while I'm here with you. They might post over here too, but I'm excited. It got a little bit of a PowerPoint for you here today so that we can stay pretty on task. My goal here is for this to really only last about as long as it needs to, which is probably going to be, who knows, 20, 30 minutes. I really want to just set you guys up with everything you need to have an awesome week. So we're going to allow a little bit of time just to get everyone in here, maybe like a minute or two. I'm also going to tag everyone in this post so that way we can go live. If you guys are here now, so that I know you're here, just drop a comment below, say here or hi or good morning, and we'll be rocking and rolling. All right. We're going to say 7-day RN self-care. Comeback challenge, kickoff, bam. Oh, I see one comment there. Sure. Good morning. Good to see you. Kickoff. Eva, good morning. Good to see you. Good to see you. Darcy, good to have you here. Driving, so just listening, of course. Yep, got to be safe. Kickoff call starting now. Nice. Yeah, I'm excited for this. I took just about 5 hours making the PowerPoint for this so that it could be super just succinct, locked in. Everyone feels really good about the actions that they're taking, and it's like super clear. So I will not be going on long tangents today. Famous last words. Let's go. I guess before we get started really quick, if you guys are watching this on the recording or you're watching it now and you have no idea, we've never met before. My name is Ryan Clark. I'm the owner and one of the coaches here at RN Body Transformations, and it's our mission to help end suffering for as many registered nurses as possible. And I know that might sound heavy, but we do that by helping them become the best version of themselves, or aim to, right? Not only by helping them transform their body, but transform their mind. And this is a really good step in that direction. So we're going to jump right in. If you guys are watching, like I said, just drop a comment so I know you're here. Okay, I can see people starting to come in now. Kendra, good to see you. Good morning. Darcy, good morning. And if you guys are watching the recording, let's I don't want to keep it too long, so let's hop right in. Let's do it. Okay, I'm going to put it over here. So starting off, I know what it feels like to feel like you have low energy and you're burnt out, like you're giving everything to others and losing yourself, especially along the way, and like you're being pulled towards destructive habits to cope with the stress. And that's pulling you even further away from what you really want, leading you to a downward spiral of depression. And this feeling gets magnified as an RN because where even if you're having high stress, the patients or the staff you're serving usually are in a more dire situation, forcing you to give more of yourself regardless of how you feel, just propelling that cycle of give without refilling ourselves. And of course, this is magnified even further if we've never created boundaries with work relationships or family relationships. Feeling uncomfortable saying no and feeling like we're letting someone down if we do. And you may even be feeling like you're so far gone that there's no helping you out of the current slump you're in. After all, it's been years that you've been feeling this way, maybe even your whole adult life. But the truth is that you can change your life. You know, what you've been doing, what you have been getting up to this point doesn't have to be what you're going to keep getting. It's possible to change, and today we're going to go over some easy steps to do that. So if you stick with me over the next 7 days, I will help you begin to regain the energy to thrive so you can finish work and feel motivated to live your life, not have it slip away on the couch or on your phone, just being exhausted from work. We're going to reinforce new beliefs that when you dedicate the effort to take care of yourself, you will help others more, not less. So you can give people more quality help and feel good about it. And if you stick in these for 7 days, I will help you create habits that can last far beyond our 7 days together, so you can keep the positive momentum flowing and really have a breakthrough with your body and your life. So who wants to hear about how we're going to do this together? If you guys are in the comments, this is the time. Let me know, drop a comment. And Nicola, good morning. Good to see you. Drop a comment, let me know. I like to keep these interactive because I don't want to feel like I'm just talking to myself. Heck yeah. Good, I saw me. Eva says me, I love it. I see a thumbs up. Good, okay. We're going in the right direction. I know there's probably a slight delay with this. Corin, good morning. Good to see you. Moving on. So we're going to cover 3 things. Number 1, why leverage is important and define what leverage is, what actions create the most leverage, and how we're going to use accountability. So let's start off by defining what is leverage. Leverage defined by me is the results you get in a relationship to the effort you put in to an action. So one more time, the results you get in relationship to the effort you put into an action. It's critical you find the highest leverage activities for real lasting transformation. Because let's be real, you have a lot of responsibility. You are probably a mom with kids, and you were in a high stress job in the medical field as an RN, nurse practitioner, director of nursing. And you cannot commit 20 hours per week like all these other girls on Instagram telling you to spend 3 hours a day every morning doing yoga, kale smoothies, meditation, a 3-mile walk on the beach, followed by affirmations and learning a second language. You just don't have the time, right? So by finding the leverage, you can take little effort and get high results. And when you do that, you begin to create a positive feedback loop, like you see on the page, leading you to feel more motivated to take more action to get even better results, setting you on a path of breakthrough. This is the exact strategy we use with our one-on-one RN clients. The only difference is with our one-on-one clients, it's deeply personalized. My goal for these 7 days are to help you implement what I believe are the highest leverage activities towards your transformation on day 1. So my challenge is I do not have you one-on-one to personalize every aspect of this for these 7 days to guarantee you follow through, which means more falls on you to perform your accountability actions and follow through. So who's down for that challenge? Colleen says, we got this. Woo! I love that. Let me know if you got it. Let me know if you're down for it. Drop a comment. And also, if you guys are liking it so far, feel free to drop a like or a love, because it will alert more people to come watch it if you feel like this is beneficial. Let's keep going. So what actions will create the most leverage? Number 1, sleep. And with this, a lot of these you're going to already know. We need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. So number 1 is going to be sleep. Let me ask you a question. If there was a pill that you could take that could help you lose more fat, regulate your appetite, allow you to get sick less often, enhance your mood, reduce your stress, aka feel more like yourself, allow your mind to think clearer, allow you to make better decisions, allow you to enjoy exercise more, increase your motivation, and have 0 negative side effects, and it was free, would you take it? Let me know in the comments if you would take it. And you might even be thinking, that sounds too good to be true. Well, that's sleep. Right? So what we're going to do is take 30 seconds right now, and I want you to calculate how much sleep you get per week on average. Be accurate, not what you know you should be doing, but what you actually get. Okay? Let's take 30 seconds right now, and I want you to comment it in here, how much sleep you're currently getting. This is meant to be interactive. If all I do is just preach at you for the next 20 minutes, you're not going to get anything out of it. We have to create action. So take 30 seconds right now, calculate how much sleep you get per week on average, throw it in the comments. Let's get interactive. And there isn't a way to win this. The lowest number doesn't win and the highest number doesn't win. Just throw it in the comments. 6.5 hours, good. About 7 hours a night. Awesome. Good. Take that time. Write it down. Now, after we calculate this, if you are sleeping less than 56 hours a week, which is an average of 8 hours a night, objective number one is we need to increase your sleep by an amount of time that's realistic to you, up to about 56 hours. Now, here's the thing. If you are starting off at 30 hours a week, or like Brenda had said, about 20 hours a week, jumping up to 56 is probably not realistic. So what you have to decide right now is what's actually realistic to you. Is it increasing it by an hour a night? Is it increasing it by 30 minutes a night? Is it increasing it maybe not on your fall, if you do 12-hour shifts following your 12-hour shift, but could it potentially be increased on off days? Start to think about that. And there's going to be 3 general highest leverage actions to hit that objective of increasing sleep. Number 1, and if you're taking note, now's the time. Set an alarm for bedtime, 60 to 90 minutes before bed. A lot of people set alarms to wake up. We're going to do the opposite. We set alarms to go to bed, right? Now, as you're setting this alarm, think, how long will it take to do everything I need to do before bed? It might take you 30 minutes. It might take you 60 minutes. It may take you 90 minutes, depending on how prepared you are getting for tomorrow. But my biggest suggestion here is make it at least 60 minutes, and here's why. One of the reasons that people have trouble falling asleep is because their brain's too excited. There's a reason that after you go to a casino and win money, you can't sleep, right? It's because your dopamine's firing. You're all excited. You can't go to sleep after that, right? Unless you're really exhausted. I've heard some people say, oh man, I can drink a cup of coffee and go right to sleep. That's not something to brag about. That means that you're probably so exhausted that even exciting your brain with caffeine, you still could sleep, which just means you're exhausted. So our goal is to get to a place that you are healthy. And once you get to a point that naturally you're healthy with your sleep and you're sleeping enough, you just won't be able to drink coffee and go to sleep. You'll actually have to be mindful about your what I call pre-sleep rituals. So we're going to set an alarm for bedtime, 60 to 90 minutes before, and you're going to turn off electronics and reduce the light, or get blue blockers. Blue blockers, I can grab mine, but blue blockers are essentially glasses that go on and they block the blue spectrum of light, which reduces melatonin production in your brain, which is why some people will watch TV before bed and then be like, I'm not tired, so I'm just going to stay up. And it's like, well, if you didn't have the blue light and you weren't exciting your brain, you would be tired. So let's keep going with that. So we're going to turn off the electronics and reduce light. This means phone and TV. Now, we're not going to talk about the using those things to cope in this. This is beyond the scope of this, but that is a real thing that I will say, where sometimes when we're assessing somebody's needs, if they are using television or their phone to cope emotionally, we don't necessarily just want to take those things away. However, if we're looking for general advice, this is what we're going to do for this challenge. And then the third thing with sleep is we're going to journal your thoughts. So in place of being on your phone and watching TV, which is a distraction, which generally suppresses the thoughts that are going on in your mind, so that when you go to sleep, either A, you fall asleep from exhaustion and wake up in the middle of the night thinking, oh my God, like I got so much to do and I can't sleep. And it's because your brain is essentially in fight or flight in the middle of the night. We don't want that. Journal your thoughts at night so all those thoughts can get out. Even if you can't take action towards the things that are on your mind keeping you up, you can put a rough plan in place for when they'll be addressed, and that puts your mind at ease. And then a bonus here is keep a sleep schedule, even on weekends. Now, I know as a nurse, it's really tough, especially if you're doing like 12s and overnights and crazy stuff. But if you are looking for that bonus, circadian rhythm is super important for sleep. Super beneficial. So when you do this, you will fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and have motivation beyond belief the following day. So take 30 seconds right now and set that evening alarm right now. What time does it need to go off for you to get improved sleep? Also, I want you to comment 2 things. Number 1, comment, even if you're watching this on a recording, do these steps. Make sure you're doing each of these steps. This is the first part of accountability, right? It's intention. You are saying, you are putting on down to paper, you are saying in a group of other people what you're going to do. So how much are you going to improve your sleep per night? And what time will the alarm go off at night? 2 questions. Answer now in the comments. Take your time to do it. I'm going to go get my blue blockers so I can show it to you guys because they're super cool. All right. These are blue blockers. Nice. Block the blue spectrum of light. Okay, cool. It says 10 p.m. Corin says 10 p.m. Even says 9:30. Okay, great. Let's keep going. Improve sleep by 30 minutes and the alarm go off at 9:30. Good. 10 p.m. Awesome. Okay, let's keep going. We're about halfway there. What actions will create the most leverage? So we have set the alarm, turn off electronics. Another thing that will be important is having a conversation with your spouse and kids. If you are living in America, chances are you're married or divorced, but you probably have kids and you probably have a spouse, or at least you have kids. So if applicable, talk to them and tell them about what you're going to do. If they are going to interfere in any capacity with you getting sleep, what you need to do is sit down with them and you need to explain how you feel currently, what you're going to do about it, and how you need their support. It's extremely important that you lead with how you feel currently, because if somebody doesn't know how important this is, they will disregard it. For example, I've had happen a lot of time with clients in the past, because we work only with women that are RNs, the wife or our client will not tell the husband or just say, hey, I'm going to start going to bed at this time. They just go, okay. And they don't register it as extremely important, even though it's extremely important to you. And then they just don't follow through, because how a man's brain works is generally they are always trying to think like, okay, what's the most important thing? And that's it. So what we want to try to do is communicate to them how important it is and drill it home so that they actually pay attention, because men need help. I should know I am one. So you need to tell them how you feel, what you're going to do about it, tell them about these actions, and how you need their support. Cool. Take 30 seconds right now and plan what you're going to, like, when you're going to speak to them, if you need to, okay? What needs to happen to guarantee this action with your sleep? Take 30 seconds. Kendra says, show your blue light things again. I missed it. I was writing down notes. So they look like this. Boop. You can get them on Amazon for like $15 or $20 or something. I don't know exactly. I think this pair was like 30 because they're ergonomical. Okay. Do you guys need more time or are we going to continue? I know there's like a slight delay here. Nice. Angela set it for 8:30, be in bed by 10. Colleen, 9:30 p.m. We're going to improve by 30 minutes. Good. And that's the key, right? We don't need to go from sleeping 20 hours a week to 70 or like from 40 to 70. What we need to do is make small improvements, right? Because then guess what? Next week, we can just do it again, right? Okay. So what are we going to do for accountability when it comes to sleep? There's 3 things. You're going to want to write these down. Going to be crucial. Oh, a little bit of disconnect there. 3 things. Number 1, you're going to post daily in the 7-day RN self-care comeback Facebook chat. Now, you should already be in this chat. If you are not, I will comment. I'll take a second really quick and comment. Actually, I'll do it after. That way you guys aren't waiting. The link to get into that chat. But every day you are going to post, essentially, I'm going to bed, right? This is the time I'm going to bed. So kind of like a sleepover. We're going to say, well, I guess you don't do that at sleepover. You stay up all night. So just kidding. But you're going to say, I'm going to bed, whatever it is. And then some type of maybe even a photo of like your bed or journal or whatever it is. Number 2, you're going to comment daily on the essentially the daily post for the challenge. So every day there's going to be something that says from me, day 1 of 7, day 2 of 7, day 3 of 7. And you're going to comment on that post with essentially the same thing we put in the chat. The difference is that this is more permanent and you can see it. You can go back. People will be able to see it looking back. You'll be able to see it looking back. The chat is real time. So things will get buried over time in that chat. And that's okay. But things will get buried. So it's going to be important that you are also doing it in the post. And then the last piece is you're going to support others, right? You're going to reply to 3 other comments daily on the daily post. So somebody, let's say, I'll use you for an example. Let's say you post and you say, went to bed at 10 p.m., went to bed at 10 p.m., a little bit harder because of this or that photo. 3 people should comment on yours and say, hey, like, way to go, or like, that's great, or ask a question. The point is, we're trying to do a couple things. Number one, we're trying to make sure that you feel better by supporting others. Because part of, I believe, our shared identity is that when we help others, we feel better about ourselves. So we're going to leverage that. I want you to comment. I want you to tell people how great they are every single day, right? This isn't just about me. It's about we. Who's cool with that? And then also, it is going to just push the accountability to the next level because you know people are watching. Because in the group right now, we have a lot of people that look at every post. We have like 550 RNs in the group now. Every post gets a couple hundred views, like people actually seeing it and reaching them. They just don't comment. So this will put the feeling of extra group accountability on the surface. Cool? Let us keep going. Need to go back to the group here. Perfect. All right. Number 2, what actions will create the most leverage is going to be increasing protein intake. So you'll notice I didn't say decrease sugar, carbs, etc. Why? Won't cutting out those things get results and be better for me? Sure, but it can also lead to a deprivation mindset, leading you to feel like you shouldn't be having them, giving those foods power. Long-term sustainable weight loss is a psychology challenge more than a physical one. So we want to do everything in our power to ensure every action we take supports the research in behavioral psychology change. So the actions you take over time feel easy. And if something feels easy, how long can you do it for? Forever. And I say eat as much of those foods as you want, only after getting in your protein. Because here's the wild part. If you increase your protein, you won't even want those other foods as much as you do now. So let's take 30 seconds right now. Calculate how much protein you need. Take your goal weight, multiply it by 0.75. The example, 200 pounds times 0.75 equals 150 grams of protein. How much protein do you need per day? Kelly says, this also sets a positive example for the teenagers in the house. Hell yeah. Yeah, you guys, you're leading by example. And that goes beyond, beyond yourself. I mean, for your kids, for your husband even, you could be the change leader there. So in your intimate relationship, in your friend relationships, in family relationships, even at work. Like we've had so many, some of our RNs that are like directors of nursing or that are in a leadership position at their hospital or their clinic. And by essentially leading by example, people follow. It's easy. People don't listen to positional leadership. Somebody that just tells them what to do and they're not doing it. Leading by example is the best way to lead, in my opinion. Awesome. Nicole says 120. Catherine says 135. Eva says 98. Perfect. So we have to decide how you're going to get in the protein. Now, to help you with this, I'm going to give you my famous Don't Have Time to Stop RN snack guide so that you can have a go-to resource for what snacks could help you fill the gaps. There's, I believe, like 7 snacks in there. You have like your meal replacement shakes, your cottage cheeses, and also what foods to avoid that masquerade as high protein. So if you guys think that'd be helpful, I'm sure a lot of you already have it. I'll put it in the chat right now so that you guys have it as well. Boop. I'm just going to put in snack guide. Cool. So you guys should see that in the chat now. Okay, let us continue. So let's take 3 minutes right now and plan out how you're going to get in the protein each day. Decide how you're going to get in that protein. Here are some high protein sources. Now, these aren't your only protein sources. There are plenty of protein sources out there. However, these protein sources are all going to have low fat, low carb, high protein. So 80, 90 to 100% of the calories are going to be coming from protein in these options versus something like, somebody might say, oh, nuts. Nuts are a protein source. True, they have protein in them, but only about 15% or 18% of the calories in nuts come from protein. 80% comes from fat. It's actually a fat source. Same thing with peanut butter, same thing with avocado. I mean, avocado actually has pretty much no protein. But with this, again, there are a bunch of in-between items like beans, for example, that have some protein, majority carbs. But for now, focus on whatever number you got. You want to get in just about 90% of this, of your protein from these sources to keep it simple. So you can decide. For fish, and feel free, any questions that you guys have, ask them as we go as well. This is, what's the word? Collaborative. This isn't just me talking at you, or I don't want it to be. So with meat and fish, of course, there are going to be higher fat sources of protein like steak and salmon, and there's going to be lower fat sources of protein like any white fish and white meat. For simplicity, you can focus on the white stuff, but because this is really the beginning, I wouldn't necessarily say to not eat the things that are higher fat like salmon, because it's beyond the scope of this chat, but that like salmon is super healthy for you, but it's not necessarily geared towards weight loss. But so I just recommend have it. It's fine. It's hard to overdose eating the right foods because naturally you're going to be satiated quicker. Now with eggs, specifically I'd focus on egg whites because eggs themselves, if you take an egg, again, same situation as salmon, healthy, but if you keep the yolk, it's about 5 grams of fat, which means only about 30% of the calories that you're ingesting are from protein. Whereas if you have an egg white, it's 100%. So what I'd recommend is if you're going to do like 5 eggs for breakfast and an omelet, do 1 yolk and 4 whites. And then you also have your half cup, 2% cottage cheese. Play with that. Again, you could go, full fat, stuff like that, but you start running into the same challenge with fat content, right? Then you have your protein shakes. The one that's go-to for me, these aren't affiliates. These are just ones that I believe in, are Fairlife Core Elite Protein. You get 42 grams of protein, and you don't have to like pre-mix them or anything, so they're super easy to just grab and go. Premier Protein, always good. The most important thing with a protein shake, to be honest, is that you enjoy it and it doesn't upset your stomach. There is a new one out there too. It's called Seek, SEEQ, that is kind of like this one down here, like Protein 20 or 2.0, which is essentially a sweet tasting Gatorade that's actually whey protein, which is kind of interesting. But you can always try that as well. And then, of course, you got your Chobani, you got your 000, which is like your Greek yogurt options. Protein bar. For protein bar, generally, I recommend a Quest bar. Something that's been really great recently are Quest. They're like crispy. So Quest, Haley loves these. I don't know if you're here, Haley, but Quest bar crunchy, I think it is. I'll put a link in the section, in the what do you want to call it, in the comment section. But they are super good to my knowledge, so I'm going to throw that in really quick. All yours, but again, these are all just suggestions for you. All right. Question. Am I supposed to feel like all I eat protein and water? No. So this is just protein first. So you can eat anything else you want. That's a great question. You can eat anything else you want. We're just going protein first. So as far as carbs and all that stuff, yeah, no, eat them up. Do it. Like you can eat whatever you want. Just get in your protein first. That's all. So still eat like chocolate cake. Still eat potatoes. Still eat, I don't know what else is kind of less than ideal. I don't know, potato chips, like fruit, like eat a ton of fruit. But if you go through a whole day and you reach the end of the day and you go, oh my gosh, I only ate 50 grams of protein because I was like so full. Well, take some of those other foods and replace them with protein. The goal is you got to get all your protein in a day. So if you don't, make more room for it. But once you get all your protein in, eat whatever you want. And you might say, well, that's not how you lose weight. You need a caloric deficit. Like, yeah, duh, of course. But this is not like what we're trying to do is just start you, right? We're trying to make a comeback. So it's not like being perfect from day one. It's let's optimize for starting so that you can feel this feedback loop, which we'll talk about in a second. All right. I like to have baked egg whites, muffin tins, super easy to grab. Yeah, that's beautiful, Kelly. Whatever's easy and convenient for you. So what accountability will help me follow through with protein? It's going to be posting meals in the 7-day RN Self-Care Comeback Facebook group, just like with the other. Comment meals on the daily post. And then also reply to 3 other comments on the daily post, right? Simple and easy. I wanted to make this simple. Now, the last action is going to be mindfulness of self-talk. We can't talk about self-care without mentioning self-talk. Self-talk is the way that you talk to yourself, or your inner voice. You might not be aware, but you are certainly doing it. The challenge is a lot of us have negative self-talk. So negative self-talk is when your inner voice is excessively negative, sounding more like an inner critic. This plays hugely into our self-esteem. Many times when our self-esteem isn't solid, we feel the need to sacrifice ourselves and our well-being to gain others' approval so we feel better about ourselves. Seeking external validation versus internal validation. The solution, so that you can feel confident saying no and putting yourself as a priority, is building new beliefs about your immense amount of inherent worth, meaning you do not need to do anything to be special, to be important, to have worth. And to start to illustrate this, did you know that you have $1 trillion body? If you don't believe me, let's take a quick inventory of just what you have physically. You have 2 arms, 2 legs, hands, feet, eyes, heart, skin, stomach, ears, toes, fingers. You have a skeleton. So just for a second, let's take your eyes. How much would you take for your eyes? If you could do a trade, if there was this voice in the sky and said, hey, I'll trade your eye, I'll give you the amount of money you want for your eyes, would you take 100,000? You probably would say no, right? What about $1 million? Probably not, right? What about $10 million? What about $100 million? Maybe you would have said yes to $1 million or 10 million. I don't know. I don't know your financial situation. I don't know how much you value your eyes. But what I can say is that we have thousands of physical assets that we've been given, and we forget how valuable they are because we were just given to them. We were just like given them at birth. But if we were to think about all those thousands of things times $100 million, times $10 million, you have so much inherent worth, it's ridiculous. And that doesn't even touch upon the emotional assets that you have, which is you're tenacious. You graduated nursing school, right? You're resilient. You most likely have kids or are a leader to people, and you're caring, right? Which you have to be a leader and to also have kids or to have them shape up okay. So your worth is beyond what you give yourself credit for. So what I want you to do right now is just take 30 seconds and I want you to rate your self-talk on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 is like, oh my gosh, I am like my biggest fan. And 1 is like, I'm my biggest enemy. Take 30 seconds and do it now. You don't have to post this one in the group if it's too, or I'm sorry, you don't have to post this one in the chat if it's too personal, but you can if you want. Because, I mean, we're all in this group, all women between the ages of 35 and 59, all RNs. Like, this is a safe place. Thanks for posting, guys. Yeah, 6, 4, 5, 4, 5-ish. Yep. Yeah, it's super common. Super common. What we want to try to do is in the next 7 days, we're going to aim to bring that up a level or two. Now, are we going to be able to, like, at the end of the 7 days, are you going to be like, you know, jumping for joy, like out of your mind, excited about yourself? Maybe, but probably not. It's probably going to be a step in that direction, though. So how are we going to do it? We're going to change your input. See, your input leads to your thinking leads to your actions, and your actions lead to your results. If you want better results, you have to change your input. So it's near impossible to change your internal dialogue without changing your external input. I believe it was Albert Einstein that said, it is impossible to solve a problem with the means that which it was created. Which means that if you feel bad, it's really hard, like it was your brain that made you feel bad. It's really hard to use your brain to make you feel better. You have to use something else. So just like a record player that's been playing the same song for years, the only way to create something new is by changing the grooves in the record. So your action is going to be to listen to empowering content, just empowering media on the way to and from work, leveraging NET. NET stands for no extra time. I'm not asking you to like take out 30 minutes of your day, sit down, listen to something, and like take notes. No. Using time that you're stuck somewhere in your car is a good example. You're going to listen to empowering things. Now, if you need something positive to listen to, I got you covered because we have our podcasts, we have our videos in the group. We're on Spotify. So you can search Spotify, RM Body Transformation Secrets will pop up. I also have video podcasts, and there's going to be more to come. I believe there's 6 or 7 right now, and those are all featured in the group. So you can listen to those, and they're all like 30 minutes to an hour. So just like if you listen to radio to work, what's gonna give you a better impact on your goals? Listening to, how the government is corrupt, or listening in, like all the chaos in the world, which is what news is, right? They don't tell you to inform you, they tell you to alarm you. Do you want that going into your head, or instead do you want these reinforcing beliefs of that you are worth something, and that like here's how you can have the breakthrough, and even how if you struggled in the past you can make this happen, right? And it doesn't have to be me. Like I don't have all the answers. I'm just a guy, right? But you can type into YouTube. You can type in like transformation, body transformation, motivation. And I promise you'll get 100 results and you can start watching them, right? So that works. You can listen to me, whatever works for you. But we have to change the input. And by slowly changing the grooves in the record, player of the mind, your self-talk will improve over time, allowing you to have less resistance to your transformation. I'll tell you a quick story about this super fast. My self-esteem used to be a freaking 1. No joke. It was so bad as a kid. I was 13 years old and I was starting to get into martial arts, and I just felt just terrible. And I was at this martial arts school, and I overheard one of the instructors talking about this guy named Tony Robbins. And you guys may have heard of him. You might have mixed opinions on him, but he's kind of a self-talk guy, or a motivational speaker type guy. And actually, to be honest, before him, it was this guy named Zig Ziglar. And this guy named Zig Ziglar had this tape. It was called Born to Win. And I borrowed the CD from one of the instructors, and I put it in my Sony Walkman to listen on the bus on the way to school. And I remember the first time it came on, because it starts off and he goes, "My name's Zig Ziglar, and I believe you're born to win. You were endowed with the seeds of greatness, and anything that you want, you can achieve with the right." And he goes on and starts talking. And I remember thinking to myself, this is how bad I was feeling at the time. I remember thinking to myself, man, if he knew I would have been listening, he wouldn't have put that in this tape. That's how messed up my thinking was. But something really amazing happened. I listened to it every day, as prescribed by my instructor for about, I think it was like 2 months or like a month and a half. And I remember by like the 45th day, something like that, I remember it really profoundly. I remember where I was sitting on the bus, and I remember the feeling I had where he said it and I didn't question it. Instead of me saying maybe what I said before, which is like, you're wrong, I said, maybe he could be right. And that's how I knew I was starting to really make a change. And if you are looking to make this change for yourself, repetition is the mother of learning. So you can't listen to something once and feel better forever. You have to indoctrinate yourself in it. You have to condition yourself in it. Zig Ziglar also used to say this thing before where he would say, you don't take a shower once and you're clean forever. It's not how it works. You do it daily. So just like you have your daily hygiene habits for your body, you have your daily hygiene habits for your mind, right? Tony Robbins, and it was Jim Rohn even before him, that says, every day stand guard at the door of your mind and feed it something good. So it's super important that we have this daily hygiene for mind. Hopefully this is beneficial. If this is helping you guys at all, or you think this is like worthy, feel free to just like drop a comment, give me a thumbs up right now, like tap the screen, like this or love it or whatever. Just let me know we're going in the right direction. So what I want you to do is take 30 seconds right now, and I want you to plan what you're going to listen to on your drives to and from work. And if you work from home with telehealth, when you will take 15 minutes to listen, go on a walk, or listen during lunch. Okay. Awesome, Colleen. I'm glad to hear it. Good. Good stuff. So take that 30 seconds right now, decide what you're going to listen to. Awesome, Catherine. What are you going to listen to? Okay. One of the last pieces here, we'll wrap this up. What accountability will help me follow through with improving self-talk? It's the same stuff. We kept the accountability measures, the same 3 for every action. You're going to post daily in the 7-day RN Self-Care Comeback Facebook chat. Again, just saying, hey, this is what I'm listening to, or hey, I listened to this podcast. I highly recommend it. It's Ryan's. No, just kidding. I listened to this podcast. It's this other person. Like, hey, this is great. We should listen to this, right? Like, you guys don't have to consume my content. Like, if you find something that you love, share it. We're all trying to, move towards the same objective. Nice. Jean says, that's awesome. Personal hygiene for your mind. I love it. Yes. Cool. Angela says, yes. Cool. Awesome. Good stuff. We're going. Also, we want to make sure that we're just posting daily in the group. Same thing on the group post. Same. You can do one post with your nutrition. With your protein, with your sleep, and with your personal hygiene for your mind. And then we're going to reply, same thing, to 3 comments. So every day you're going to be in the Facebook chat, try to not indoctrinate yourself. You're going to try to, feed your mind good input, because when you're not only answering in the chat, but you're reading the chat, you are essentially getting input of other people doing what you're doing, having the same struggles, having the same victories. And again, our minds are like a heat-seeking missile. So whatever goes in is what comes out. If you want to feel motivated and you want to feel like you're putting your body as a priority, feed your mind more stimulus that tells your brain that this is important. And the way you can do that is by consuming more things, right? Not food, consuming more content, getting in the group. I tell my one-on-one clients this all the time. There is a direct correlation to how much you were involved in the group and with other clients to your transformation. And the reason is because there's so many things in our life that are trying to steal our attention. Think about Facebook, think about all the social media, think about the news, think about even our jobs. And it's just, there's notifications are insane. If you haven't already, turn off the notifications on your phone, but not for this Facebook group, because that's important. No. But it's everywhere. So what we have to be able to do is essentially reprogram, in a sense, our brain to tell it what's important. And one of the ways we can tell it what's important is just by the volume at which we consume certain types of content, right? So hopefully that makes sense. So quick recap, 7-day RN Self-Care Comeback Challenge, 3 things: sleep, increase protein intake, and mindfulness of self-talk. So with sleep, you're going to set an alarm for bedtime, 60 to 90 minutes before bed. You're going to turn off electronics and reduce light or get blue blockers. You're going to have a conversation with your spouse or kids, if applicable. Explain how you feel currently, what you're going to do about it, and how you need their support. Number 2, you're going to increase protein intake. Again, increasing protein intake doesn't mean eliminate other stuff. Eat all the other stuff. Eat your rice. Eat your ice cream. Eat, like, I don't care. Eat all of it. Because I promise you, like, don't go and eat more than you're already eating. Right? But whatever you're currently doing, just keep doing it, but increase protein on top of that. And I promise you that naturally all that other stuff will go down. But like, you have a cookout this weekend. Yeah, still go eat hamburgers and whatever else you want. That's fine. Just increase your protein on top of it, okay? And then number 3, mindfulness of self-talk. You're going to listen to new positive input while driving. And the accountability is Facebook posts. You're going to comment. You're going to be in the daily chat. And you're going to reply to other people's comments. Cool? Cool. Nice. And also, I'll say now too, this is like, whether you're listening right now live or you're listening on a recording, this is like timeless advice. Like, you might be listening to this recording 1 or 2 years after I've made it. Don't let that stop you from doing it if you're not here yet, because it's still important, right? Super important. So still do it. And what I recommend too is right now, if you guys are here live or even just you're watching this on a recording, like if you feel like this could benefit you, it probably could benefit someone you know and love. So invite them to do it, right? And I know, this group is really focused on RNs, but we're willing to make that exception a little bit just for these, these challenges here. Bring in your husband to the group, or maybe not your husband, because you try to keep it women only. But bring in your girlfriends and invite them to do the challenge, right? And just try to, as much as you can, make your inner circle aligned with the goal that you want. This is why this group can be so impactful, because you want to have a tribe of people around you that value the actions that are in line with the person you want to become. Because in this group, if we value doing like exercise and nutrition and mindfulness and all this stuff, naturally, we always want to increase our status within a group that we care about. So this is your fit tribe. Leverage it. Use it, right? It's free. Do it. It's super impactful. Cool. Yeah, totally. So Kendra said, what about LPNs? We get that question all the time. Yes, totally. So like right now, it's RN body transformations. Eventually, we will, so for this challenge, yes, definitely bring them in. Eventually, for one-on-one coaching, we will even probably move beyond RNs in the coming years and expand our reach to all nurses and even other healthcare workers, doctors, whatever. But we're not there yet, right? Because there's still a lot of work to do with just RNs in America, right? And now we're working in Canada too. So there's still a lot of work just with our people. So we'll start here. So great question though. Rock and roll. So let's talk prizes. Complete all daily accountability actions for a chance to win. So that means if you do these, every day, Facebook posts, you're in the Facebook chat once per day, right? Replying to others' comments at least 3 per day, you have a chance to win. You can win 12-week access to our award-winning accountability app, plus unlimited messaging, access to one of our amazing coaches, which if you don't know them right now, they're myself, Charity, and Tracy, who are all amazing. Hype for those people in the chat if they are any of your coaches. You know who they are. Which includes unlimited daily one-on-one motivation and guidance from your new coach, as well as nutrition, fitness, and emotional support from our 38 plus years experience coaching team. But wait, there's more. You can also get the ultimate RN Body Transformations swag bundle, including t-shirts, water bottles, sweatshirts, socks, sweat bottles, kittens, and unicorn tears. Maybe not the last 2, but you get it. Cool. I see that hype for charity. Let's go. So, with that all being said, I have one more question for you. Who's ready for a comeback? Who's ready for the comeback, baby? Let me see if this plays. Hold on. All right. Hold on. Let me know if you guys can hear this. Oh, wait. While I'm waiting. Here it comes. Hopefully you can hear this. Let's pump it up. I don't know if you can hear that. Who's ready for a comeback? Who's ready for a comeback, baby? Let's go. Can you guys hear the music? Guys, you might not be able to hear it, but I'm excited for you guys. It's going to be a great kickoff. It's going to be a great challenge. If you guys need absolutely anything, I'm here to help. And damn, you couldn't hear it? Oh, what a bummer. Man, it was like such a good outro song. Oh, now I'm like so sad. I have echo cancellation on. Hold on, tell me, can you guys hear this? Can you hear that? How about now? Can you hear it? I think you can. Yeah, you can. That's it. It's time for a kickoff, baby. Guys, it's going to be a great week. The future is bright. I can promise you that if you take these steps, if you follow these actions, you are going to feel better next week. And it is going to start you off on your body breakthrough. Let me get some hype in the chat. Let's go. Woo! We're going to start posting tomorrow. So I'll be having the day one post in the morning tomorrow, and that's where we're going to start. Today is just going to be preparing for tomorrow. So have your conversations, plan your intention for the week, and we're going to make it happen. But with that in mind, guys, we are done. Hope you have a great Sunday. We'll stay on for another 30 seconds and just answer any questions really fast. Questions, comments, concerns. Raise the roof, baby. Get hyped. No questions. I think we're good. Guys, enjoy your week. I'll be here for you. Get into the chat. I'll post the chat right now just in case you need it. All right, posted. I will see you guys this week.